white bond, the firm's name engraved across the top of each sheet in a thick calligraphic script. Hunter and Mackenzie, Investigative Law. Josiah Gregory ran his fingers lightly over the lettering. "Mr. Conkling would have liked this," he said. "It's what he hoped for when he made out his will that last time." Like Prudence's fiancé, Roscoe Conkling had been among the 200 New York City casualties of the Great White Blizzard, though it had taken almost a month before the damage done to his body during a long walk up Broadway at the height of the storm finally killed him. When he knew without a doubt that he would not survive, the former senator from New York deeded his office and his law practice to Geoffrey Hunter and wrote a letter in which he urged him to follow a profession that would give meaning to his life. Josiah Gregory, now a man of independent means through his long-time employer's generosity, had been an unexpected and invaluable bonus. "I'll put this away." Josiah gathered up the new stationery, the wrapping paper, the twine, and the scissors. Moving quickly and quietly, with a deft neatness that defined his every movement and gesture, he retreated to his desk in the outer office. He'd give Miss Prudence and Mr. Hunter a few minutes to themselves before he brought in the coffee tray. November was always cold and damp. Nothing made a New York winter bearable like strong, sweet coffee with a good dollop of heavy cream. "I did read the article about the Ripper's latest atrocity." Prudence unfolded the newspaper Josiah had placed on Geoffrey's desk, settling herself in one of the client chairs to look at the headline. "I cannot imagine what kind of monster would do something like this, not once, but 7 separate times. They're calling him a lunatic and a homicidal maniac. For once, I don't think the press is exaggerating. He has to be insane, Geoffrey. It's the only explanation that makes any sense. Thank God it's not happening here." "We've had our share of killers. No country or society is immune from violence. Think about what we did to one another not very long ago. The war's been over for 23 years, but for some people it's as though it was still being fought." Matthew Brady's photographs of Union and Confederate dead on shell-pocked battlefields had horrified and saddened a nation, torn in two by irreconcilable beliefs and a warrior culture that enshrined blood sacrifice. Death had ridden the land for 4 long years, and when it was finally over, greed galloped in like a fifth horseman of the apocalypse. There were more enormously wealthy men in America now than ever before, but there were also legions of hopelessly poor and homeless men, women, and children. Armies of exploited workers whose wages barely staved off starvation. Violence was commonplace in big city slums, but few of New York City's killings could match what Jack the Ripper was doing in the faraway London cesspit of Whitechapel. How could he do what they say he's done? Especially this latest killing, this Mary Jane Kelly. The reporter writes that he carved her up as casually as a butcher does the carcass of a sheep hanging from a hook in a slaughterhouse. I don't think I'll ever be able to understand the man who did that. Would you be able to defend him, Prudence? Women haven't been admitted to the bar in New York, Geoffrey. It's only been a few months since New York University finally allowed 3 women to enroll in their law courses. Whether they'll graduate with anything equivalent to a law degree is another matter entirely. You didn't answer my question. I'm not sure I can. My father taught me everything he knew about the law. Even though the lessons took place at home, I learned as much, if not more, than any intern in any law firm in the city. The judge made sure of that. But since the bar is closed to women in this state, your question is moot. There was a killer in Austin, Texas, 3 years ago. He murdered 8 people, 7 of them women, mostly in service, chopped them to death with an axe. Did someone defend him? I don't think the murders have ever been solved. Like Jack the Ripper. One theory is that when a murderer leaves the area where he committed his crimes, he doesn't stop killing. He starts again in a different place. The Ripper is still somewhere in London. There's no telling how many more women he'll kill before something or someone forces him to leave. For an ex-Pinkerton, you don't sound very optimistic that the Austin Killer or the Ripper will ever be caught.